Carrie with So Much Glitter. I am back with my Mother's Day inspired journal. Now, the reason why I called it a Mother's Day inspired journal was because I knew I was not going to be able to have this finished by Mother's Day. So I do have this finished. I put like a fabric spine on it last night after work. That should all be dry. So we're gonna do a quick flip through of this, and then we're going to create a card with toner foil from Crafty Critta. That card is meant to go in my journal, and I'll kind of explain that process as we move along. I have my mink off to the side over here because she just is the big mama and she doesn't fit in the frame or on my desk, so that's where she is. I'm going to take the clips off. I just buy Dollar Tree clips, or I bought in a big pack of paper clips on Amazon before, and that's what I use for my journaling. So I'm going to set these off to the side, and I did start this off with a just like a big business envelope, like a manila envelope, and I did explain that in my first video, so if you want to see how that went, you can go ahead and hop on over there. I did use a kit I did a mashup. So I did Petals and Parchment, I did Sweet Pea Curiosities, I did some Bitty Penny. So let's just get into it. So the cover is some paper packs that I had, and this is for myself. So I did all of the things that I like, which is more of a fun, feminine, vintage feel. So, and then the quotes and the faux sewn on washi tape are from the Petals and Parchment kit. So we're just going to open it up to the first page, and we have some Sweet Pea Curiosity mixed media flowers. I used some of the Tim Holtz vintage cello tape, which I'm going to just start making my own because I'm almost out of that. And then I did a pocket, and let's peruse on through a little bit more. This is Petals and Parchment and Sweet Pea, and I love to do the flip outs, and I do like to do a lot of reverse printing. I'll probably put a photo or something there. More Sweet Pea Curiosity on this whole entire page. I do like to do the belly bands, and that's where the cards come in handy when I make the cards for my my journals. Sorry, it's Saturday. I kind of lost train of thought, but I realized I do not have anything to stick in here to show you the pockets. So I'll just use my little index card I used to dab my ink. This pocket right here is from Petals and Parchment, and that is the Endless Love Kit, which is for May 2025 membership. I'm going to go ahead and link everything below. The background is Bitty Penny from Hey Girlfriend. I did add some ribbon to the back of the pocket just to add some interest. And we go with more Petals and Parchment, Bitty Penny. I add my own, and then Sweet Pea Curiosities. I add my own tea-dyed paper in here, and what I like to do, because I fussy cut this whole element out down here, the mixed media flower, because it's a printable. And then I like to ink off the edges with, you know, just any color, vintage type color ink that I have on hand. But I like to add more interest to the page, so I did show this on my last video as well, how I did that. So that's a little bit of fun. We have a tip up here, or a tip out. There's so many different terminologies. This is from Petals and Parchment. I just love this. And this I did not make a pocket. This I just glued down just to have it as an aesthetic on the page. There's plenty of journaling space in here. I just love how this kit turned out. So go more, and we have more of this, and I like different size pages and just some more adding interest. Actually, my page ripped right there, perfect for the vintage tape. This is the, sorry, I think I have my kitty TV going, and then it hits an ad. So this is from the Hey Girlfriend from Bitty Penny, and I did add some interest to that by inking it, and I used my Decal Edge trimmer. These cuties are from Sweet Pea Curiosities. I just had to. I had to put these in here. Not everything's happy-go-lucky, and these girls are just too cute, and I can kind of make notes on the back. I mixed in Bitty Penny. I mixed in Sweet Pea Curiosity paper and Petals and Parchment. So, and this is just a fun note card. And I did reverse print on this, so I could put a picture on the back. I could kind of do whatever. I mean, that's just a little tuck spot right there. All right, let's keep going through. And the middle of it, I like to add a lot of interest to the middle of my journals. So all of this is going to be Sweet Pea Curiosities. And I did just fussy cut. I left myself plenty of room for journaling, pictures, whatever I want. And I do like to use more than three lengths of my journal to sew in my signatures, just because I like the added bow in there. I know I'm not running out of any space. So we have more of these Flaming Cuties, just too much fun. And we have, oops, a pocket right here, which I did add interest to the pocket, so I matted that, and very reminiscent of the Golden Girls from Bitty Penny, so I had to put that in there. And like I said, in the near future, I'm going to be making a Golden Girls inspired journal. And I do have some Golden Girls fabric for that, so that's really exciting. Just a lot of tip ups and tip outs and tuck spots, and just kind of keep going through here, and a lot of places that I can journal and add pictures. And any fun memories I want. Here's another belly band. I really like to add this in here. I made this one a little bit tight on accident, so I've had this paper in here to kind of loosen it up, and that's how I glued it down. Another perfect spot for a card. If you know me, you know I'm really big into memory keeping and pictures, and things like that. So that's why I like to add the cards in my journal. And this is just for my stash. So it was a fun stash buster. So that's why I like to add the cards. This was an element that I had purchased on Etsy. I do not remember the name of the store, but it was a whole kit I did for Mother's Day for my mom last year. So I just thought this was perfect to fit in the back of the journal. And then there we go. Oh, this is, I did add a little decorative paper clip. This is a pocket or a tip out, whatever you want. So it's just more storage space, more photo space. And then there's the back. And then here's the spine. I love this fabric. It has all my favorite flowers on it, so that's why I used it. So let's get into the card. I have a lot of Crafty Critta stuff, and I know I showed it to you last time. I want to make a card, 5x7 card. Okay, I realized I forgot to get my card base. So here's my card base. And I want to make a 5x7 card, and I love these from before. I did show you this in my my announcement that I was a design team member for Crafty Critta. So if you want to go check that out. But here's the kit. And I absolutely love these. And it goes with my whole fussy cutting passion that I love. I love this paper pack. I think I want to mix it up a little bit. Let's see if I can, oh, I think I opened it backwards. Oh, I think I even completely busted that open. So I want to use this paper pack, and I've already picked out a sheet of paper that I want to use from this paper pack. So I'm going to link everything below, and for Crafty Critta, you are going to get a coupon code. So if you find something in here that you want, or you want to go check them out and you absolutely must order, you are going to be able to do that with a discount. Okay, so the foil that I chose to use was something from my stash, and this is their silver waterfall foil. This is toner foil, mind you. This is not hot foiling. Excuse me, I need to take a sip of my tea. It's kind of early on a Saturday morning. This is when I find I have time to craft a little bit before I have to get going with my day and any responsibilities. So the toner foil needs toner to adhere to, so it's not like a hot foiling plate or anything like that. So this is toner ink, and if you have a toner printer, you can print different designs out and do all of that. I do not get into that portion of foiling because I don't do that much of it to where I need to buy a whole separate printer for it. So what I'm going to do is turn on my Mama Mink, and I turn her on to about a 3. That's what I do. I don't know what's going to work for you. And I have my transfer sheet here. My transfer sheet is well loved. She does have foil on her from past projects. I do not stress about that. Some people will tell you throw it away, get a new one, whatever. I have not been able to find these. I used to only buy these at Joann's, and I was at Joann's last weekend and they're pretty much cleared out, although I did get a few Ranger things that were 80% off, so that was nice. But I really don't do that much of it. I'm trying to clear off my desk now, sorry, to where I can't find them. So I've not had this dirty transfer sheet affect my projects at all. So what I want to do is I want to use 2 different sheets of paper for my background, I think. I don't think I'm fully centered in here. Let me kind of move stuff off to the side. So I wanted to match this, and I think I want to use my Deckle Edge trimmer. I just don't know, and these are double-sided, so that's really nice. So we have this here. We have this. The Wave and the Wave might be too much. I kind of do like this, so I'm going to save that for a contender. Look, the Mama Mink's already ready. She's green. She's ready to go. She has an automatic turn off. So if I leave her sitting for too long and I forget about her, see, this is just the bigger roses. I think I'm going to go with the little roses. I like it, and then we won't be here all day searching. I found something I want. That's what I'm going to do. Absolutely love this paper. Okay, so let me get out my Deckle Edge trimmer here. And I just want to set up the background before I run the foil through. So like I said, it is a 5x7 card. These sheets are, I did not even look on the package, so let me see. Like 8 1/4 by 6. So 6 by 8 basically. What I'm going to do is trim this down. It doesn't necessarily need to be directional either way. So let's see how we want to do this. I really like doing like a 1/2 and 1/2 sheet. So let's try this. Let's just try it. Let's do, let me see if I can see. I don't have my glasses on. I should have brought them here. Oops. And I'm not necessarily going to Deckle Edge this whole, like Deckle trim this whole thing, because I want the seam to be trimmed. Trim this up, because normally what I would do when I'm doing a 1/2, like a 1/2 and 1/2 of a card, is to cover up the seam, I would put a ribbon or something in the middle, but that sometimes makes it bulky, and this is going to be going in my journal. So let me try to center up and frame here. So I don't want it to be too bulky, and this is not going to be even by any stretch of the means. And you know what, I only had to Deckle Edge 1, I think, but I'm just going to put it like that. This is how I'm going to do it. And then the foiling elements are really going to add interest to the card. So I do like that overlapping, or I could do, oops, throwing it. I'm thinking I want the flowers on my right side. Let me see. Could see if I don't, yeah, I'll overlap it just a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's what I'll do. And I'm not like an exact science measurer, I'm not. So So we'll see how that turns out. Okay, that's just kind of where I want it. Roughly, if I am in frame, I can, like I said, I can't see, I need to put my glasses. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set this stuff aside, and then I'm going to prep my foiling space, and I'm going to get out my foil. And this again is a silver waterfall. If you can see it, it is absolutely freaking gorgeous. I am going to foil this whole thing. So I'm going to start out by flipping this, by flipping this up. I'm gonna use my little dusty brush, and this is just a makeup brush that I did buy at Target on clearance like a few years ago. And I said that in my first video for introducing Crafty Critta. So if you wanna go check that out, there's a lot of things that you can see, and just like little tidbits for foiling. So the reason for the dusting is that we are removing any debris, any dust, any debris. Sorry, I keep getting texts of pictures of my grandson. It's like a Saturday morning ritual in the group chat and the group family chat, and we love it. But it keeps coming across and I get distracted because I want to look at the video. So I'm going to put this over, and it's pretty side up, and we always go just a little bit over. And so here's where you can probably see my bad habit. I tend to go too much over. And then that's why I get a dirty transfer sheet. So I'm going to go put this through my Mama Mink, and it's just right here next to me. It's been heated up perfectly fine for quite a while. These rollers are really strong. I don't use a laminator. You can use a laminator, I suppose. I truly don't recommend it. I've seen in different foiling groups that I'm a part of, the final project for laminator versus Mink and other foiling machines. Crafty Critta has a foiling machine as well, and I think it's Best Foil Mate, and it's similar to a Mink. Sometimes the Minks are really expensive. I have a big one because I was scrapbooking at the time, but they do have a desktop size one. Different companies sell those, but you can get this, something similar to this, and get these exact same results through Crafty Critta is what I would recommend to do that, because it is smaller and on your desk, and that's probably what I need to do. But I've had her for years and she's pretty trusty. So we're just running her through, and then we're going to do the big reveal. But the reason why I'd recommend the Mink, there's virtually zero prep time. I turned it on between 1 and 5 to the heat that I want it. You'll realize what that is once you kind of get into foiling. I'm going to turn her off. She has an automatic shut off. She is warm to the touch, but the rollers are super, super strong. And so you don't have to warm it up for 15 to 30 minutes and keep running it through when you're getting missing spots, because this is meant to do the job the first time. Okay, so let's do the big reveal. And it's just, you wait till it cools down, and it's already cool. So here's just the beautiful, I love this foil. Oh, I love anything holographic. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the big reveal for the foil. And these are going to be our images that are going to go on our card. And we have the leftover here. Do not throw this away, because the image is now on this foil, and we can put this on a blank toner sheet, black or otherwise. Crafty Critta does sell that. And then you put that on and run that through your foiling machine. And then this will be clear, this will be done, and this will be ready to go. And then you have, multiple projects in one foiling sheet. Sorry, my throat was itchy this morning. Okay, so let's just get out the glue. And we're gonna glue this down. So I didn't have to decal trim both of these. Now I realized once I did that. So we could have saved a little bit of time, but it's okay. You'll live and learn. And let's see if my glue is coming out. It appears so. Make sure my card is open correctly, because I have put a perfectly fine card together the wrong way, and then we're opening up backwards, upside down, every which way. I've actually sent some of those cards out to my family as like a joke, because I went through all the time of making the card. So that's okay. Excuse me. I've really been trying to fight all the germs at my work. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to get a drink of water, and hopefully that'll situate it. Anyway, I've been trying to fight all of the germs at my work, and this isn't perfectly even right here. So we'll trim that off. That's okay. I don't know how successful I am, because now I've got a tickle in my throat today. Let's see, it's better to go this, because this is just over. Just trim that little titty bit off. Okay, so this is what I want my card to look like. I didn't want it to be perfectly even. I'm going to cut this apart. I could just do the one big one and do a major big interest point. I think I just trimmed some of that off, so I don't know if I'll be doing that. But let's try to work around it anyway, shall we? Okay. So I'm not trying to cut off any of the foil point. Okay, I did leave my glasses out in the kitchen because I'm making a sourdough loaf. I'm going to make a strawberry and white chocolate loaf tomorrow, so I'm prepping that today. And I think I need my glasses. And I need to do my last stretch and fold. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to be right back, and we're going to finish trimming this up. Okay, I am back. I have my glasses on. I did my stretch and fold, but joke's on me, it wasn't my last one. I have one more to do, but that's okay. So we did the whole strawberry thing for Mother's Day. We went to the farm. We did strawberry picking. We had a lot of fun. Then we went out to lunch. My grandson was the best strawberry connoisseur. He was our taster. Absolutely loved it. So there's that, and I think I'm going to ink up the edges. Put this to the side. Let's do the smaller one. Thank goodness I went and got my glasses, because this is awfully small. And I'm trying not to cut this right on the line. So anyway, so I'm going to make a loaf of sourdough out of the fresh strawberries I've had in the fridge. They're absolutely delicious. One thing I do miss about having a big garden, because I had a much bigger yard, is like growing strawberries and things like that. I know I can do it where I am now. I'm just busy. So, and it was a fun family event. That was a lot of fun. And then they had baby goats, and I love their fresh honey. That really helps with my allergies, because they're just, I don't even think that farm is 12 miles away from me. So it really helps. Okay, I'm going to cut out the big one now too. So we have these. I might need to, this is so pretty. I wanted to do multiples on here, but if I'm going to do that, I might need to back these, because it kind of gets lost. And I've done that before on a Crafty Critter video around Easter time. You can go back and look at that one. And I did just back the foiled image with like black paper, so it really stood out. I love these scissors. If you can hear them, they're just kind of gliding on the paper. These are oh well, they're gliding on the paper to where I was not paying attention. These are one of the newer Tim Holtz scissors. I got these off a Ranger. I don't remember. I think last summer. So I hope everybody has a great weekend planned. It's not too warm where I am in San Diego. It's not even going to be 70 today. And the sun's not out because we're, you know, still in the May gray, although it's been doing pretty good. Like, I work right 2 miles from the beach, and May gray has been pretty good. I mean, we've had our cold and gray days, but mostly it's been pretty sunny, so that's kind of nice. Or just a big one. Oh, I like that. That's a lot of fun, huh? I think I'm going to do that. And you know what? I don't even think I'm going to back it, but I think I am going to raise it. So let me look for my foam tape, which... Okay, we had an incident in the crafter and my camera completely knocked over because my chair bumped into it. So I'm going to look for my foam tape, which it tends to fall all the time. But I use the World's Best Foam Tape from Pear Blossom Press. Love this stuff. Love it, love it. The backing comes off so easy. And then I'm just going to put this on the back. Actually, let me ink this up a little bit. And I might be out of frame now too. So, sorry. I'm going to stick with the brushed corduroy because that's what I've been doing in the, and I am just muddying this all up. That's what I've been doing in the journal where this is going to go. I don't mind that it looks super grungy on the edge. I like that. I like the vintage feel of the journal that I created. So I'm going to leave it like that, and that will kind of pop it up a little bit anyway, if you can see that. So I'm going to get my foam tape. I'm going to get my tape cutting scissors. I have scissors for everything in here. So I don't accidentally use tape cutting scissors because they've got like goo on them, you know, from the tape on fabric or paper or something. And then I just kind of clean these off with hand sanitizer. Cut that up a little bit more. And another thing that I really like about this foam tape is it is permanent foam tape, but it's not permanent for a while. So you can lift up and move, and this, like I said, this backing just comes up so easy. And normally I do have like a fresh manicure on. I'm kind of taking a nail salon break these past few months for myself, reprioritizing things. And the last few years I do that. I'll just give myself a break and I'll kind of go all natural for a few months. There we go. I am going to ink up the rest of the card though, just to match the rest of the journal and to match the ink blending that I've done. I really like the look of this, that it's not too uniform. And I'm going to show you where I'm going to put it in the journal. And we're going to round out the video with no more mishaps, I hope. I normally don't edit my videos, so we'll see if I edit that out or not. I honestly just don't take the time to do it. And none of us are perfect crafters. Like, I'm not like Jennifer McGuire or, you know, those big crafters that do make beautiful things that we learn lots of stuff from, because I did learn how to fussy cut from Jennifer McGuire's videos. I just craft. This is what I do. Okay, so let's move off to the side. My foil scissors are going to go in my foil box. Put those away. Put the lid back on the glue because it can clog up and then it won't work. I'm going to put my brush away. Once again, we're over here to look at the beautiful, beautiful foil and the product that it creates. Those are going to be for another card for another day. I'll probably actually create that card maybe right now. I don't even know if I have enough card bases though, and then post it on my Instagram, I think is what I might do. Okay. So I'm trying to clean up at the same time because I do have plans today. Me and my friend of like, I don't know, over 30 years. We just live like 30 minutes apart. We are going to go tour Betty Crocker's house today. Yes, I know Betty Crocker was not a real person, and this is not going to fit in how I planned it. So I'm going to need to make my A2, but I'm going to tell you why I made a 5x7 to go in here. I didn't even think ahead, so oops. But it's just going to be something fun. A real person, Betty Crocker was based off of a real person, and her and I did investigate this to make sure that what we're doing today is like real. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up probably putting that in here or in the back. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with it. It's probably in the back. It's going to be better. That's where it's going to go. This teapot is going to go right here. And then lots of fun stuff is going to go under here. Okay, so we'll just do a quick flip through again. Anyway, so Betty Crocker was based off of a real person whom I believe in the 40s lived up in Valley Center, which is maybe 40 minutes away from me. Lived up there, and she did cooking tutorials in her home. And she did them on the radio. She had a radio show. So, hey, she had a podcast before like that was a thing. I absolutely love this. And so this was her home that she did it out of, and the company that invented Betty Crocker did reach out to her and based the Betty Crocker character off of her, and she was involved in that process. And I'm going to leave this in here, and my A2 card is probably going to go in here. And what we can do later is save this as a bookmark anywhere in my journal. And so her home is now basically a museum and a historical landmark. Here's the card that we made today. And we're going to open it up. And I just kind of did the whole vintage thing to clean off my brush a little bit too. But so we're going to go tour her house and the property a little bit. And it's all a historical landmark. We're both very excited because her and I are both very crafty and domestic. And so that's going to be our post Mother's Day gift to ourselves. That's what we're doing today. This is going to be a memory album for myself for Mother's Days throughout the years. So I did want a big card to go in here because I'm going to store photos in here. I am such a huge photo person that I probably have too many photos to go in here because I do want to journal along the way. So that's why I always put a few cards in my journals for more journaling space, for gift giving, for memory keeping, things like that. So I hope you really enjoyed the video today. It might be a little bit clunky, so I apologize with my camera falling over and all, but hey, we made it through it, and my project is done, and my Mother's Day inspired journal is a success. And I even did the whole to and from. I really like that. Check out all the links below, and I will be back very soon. I'm going to go ahead and create another A2 card, but I do have to do some card bases before I scoot on out of here. Have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you soon.